Good morning, students. Water resources. Our subject is water resources engineering one. We are in unit 5. Our present topic is Deputy's equation. Study radial flow to wells in confined and unconfined aquifers. So, guys, here we have to understand what is well hydraulics. To to understand the process in effect when one or more wells are pumping from an aquifer. This is for instance considers the analysis of drawdown due to pumping with time and distance. This is called a hydraulics. Hydraulics means what, guys? Here the point indicates to understand the process in effect when one or more well are pumping from an aquifer. This is for instance considers the analysis of drawdown due to pumping with the time and the distance. So, guys, when we have to select two wells, it's a very near to place. For example, if we take if we take drawdown from the point one well, and the automatically the water level reduces or decreases in the second well also. So that is the correlation between that. So that's why he says that hydraulics means we have to understand the process in effect when one or more wells are pumping from an aquifer. This is, for instance, considers the analysis of drawdown due to pumping with time and distance. And importance of well hydraulics is groundwater withdrawal from aquifer are important to meet water demand. Therefore, we need to understand well hydraulics to design a pumping strategy that is sufficient to furnish the adequate amount of water. This is the importance of well hydraulics. So groundwater wells, guys, here the groundwater is collected through the use of wells. The groundwater is collected through the use of wells. Well systems usually have well structure, pump and discharge pipes. Well usually consists of a perforated casing that allows water to enter the well but prevents collapse of hole. So, guys, here the first point is the groundwater is collected through the use of wells. So yes, groundwater, yes, we can take the groundwater from where, just where we are using the well, using the dug wells or bore wells. From those we have to collect the groundwater. That is the first point. The second point is well systems usually have well structure, pump and discharge pipes. If you want to say well system, that is that has a well structure that has, and that has the pump and that has the discharge pipes. If well structure, well pump and discharge pipes, then we have to call as a well systems usually. The third point is well usually consists of perforated casing. Guys, what he says, well usually consists of perforated casing that allows water to enter the well but prevents collapse of the hole. Guys, from the point 3, what he says, perforated casing used in the well. But what is the use of perforated casing? That allows water to enter the well but prevents the collapse of the hole. When we are digging a well, after some layers, if we get some loose sand, automatically well collapse. But prevent the collapse of the hole, we need to use the perforated casing. And when we are using perforated casing, through holes from the casing, the water allows in the hole. And fourth point is when when water is withdrawn, the flow becomes established to compensate the withdrawal. So guys, when water is withdrawn from a well, the flow becomes established to compensate the withdrawal. So when we are using the well, automatically the flow is increases. Simply, fourth point rules. When we are using the well regularly, the flow in the underground established in a very good condition. The fifth point, because of head loss, because of head loss, piezometric surface adjacent to well is depressed. This is called the cone of depression. So guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6 point, guys. The 6 point is the simply the 6 point describes about the cone of depression. Because of a head loss, piezometric surface adjacent to well is depressed. This is called cone of depression. So cone of depression means, guys, what we say is, for example, in a area 5 to 6 wells is there. The first one 5 to 6 wells is there. One is the 200 meters, 250 meters, 300 meters, 150 meters, 100 meters, something is there. But maybe it will vary. What we observe, is the depth of the bore well is not a unique. So that is the unique is the very difference between the 50, 100, 150 something. So that's why first the well is lost the water, the digging is the very low, and who drilled a great depth. So the up to a great depth, the all water flows in that well. The surrounding wells are the abundant. So that is called the abundant, and surface of water is not available. So that is we have to call as a cone of depression. Next, guys, remember Darcy's equation. Remember Darcy's equation. Q is equal Ka dH by dx. So basic assumptions means the piezometric surface of aquifer is horizontal prior to the start of the pumping. The piezometric surface of aquifer is horizontal prior to start the pump. Guys, before starting the pump, the aquifer, I mean the piezometric surface or water table of the aquifer is horizontal. The aquifer is homogeneous and isotropic. The aquifer is homogeneous and isotropic. Same material with the same properties in all direction. That is we have to call the homogeneous isotropic. Guys, the aquifer is the homogeneous and isotropic. Isotropic means same material with the same properties in all direction. But in a well, this is not possible. But in some cases possible. All flow is radial toward the well. All flow is radial towards the well. Groundwater flow is horizontal. Darcy's law is valid. The pumping well fully penetrates the aquifer. The pumping well fully penetrates the aquifer. These are called the basic assumptions. So, study versus unstudied, transient. Steady state implies that the drawdown is a function of location only. Transient state implies that the drawdown is a function of location and time. Thus, H is equal to Fr in case of steady state, and H is equal to Frt in case of transient state. Guys, here, study radial flow to a well in confined aquifer. This is called what we have to observe, guys. Here, impermeable bed, that is a confined aquifer, and is also impermeable bed. So, guys, two impermeable beds, one aquifer is there. That is called, we have to call confined aquifer. And here, drawdown curve and observation wells. Here, guys, ground surface, that is the original physiometric surfaces. Q and A naught is there, delta and 2 are R2, R1, R1 and H1. Guys, I need to explain this figure clearly. Study radial flow to a well. So guys, the study radial flow to a well in a confined aquifer is here, guys. The flow around a well penetrating fully into a confined aquifer of thickness B under steady state conditions is known here. In this case, the depth of flow remains constant everywhere. The discharge flowing into well through a section which is situated at a radial distance r from well becomes here, guys. Steady flow to a well in a uh, confined aquifer. Here is the B and S1H1, S2H2, and SW2HW, original physiometric services, and H. So guys, here when water is pumped from a confined aquifer, the pumpage creates a drawdown in the piezometric surface that induces hydraulic gradient toward the well. So guys, the first point what he says, when water is pumped from a confined aquifer, okay, we draw a water from a confined aquifer. The pumpage creates, so that pumpage creates a drawdown in piezometric surface that includes hydraulic gradient towards the well. Drawdown at a given point, guys. When water is pumped from a confined aquifer, the pumpage creates a drawdown in a piezometric surface that induces hydraulic gradient towards the well. Drawdown at a given point is the distance. Drawdown at a given point is the distance by which the water level is lowered. Drawdown at a given point is the distance by which the water level is lowered. A drawdown curve shows the variation of drawdown with the distance from the well. The induced flow moves horizontally towards the well. Apply Darcy's law to derive the flow equation that relates drawdown with pumping. Q is equal is equal Q is equal to A. Q is equal capital Q is equal to A. Small q is equal to 2 pi RB minus K into dH by dr. That is equal to minus 2 pi RBK is equal DH into dr. Here guys, water pumped out of the aquifer flow through the aquifer. Study radial flow to a well in confined aquifer. Conditions at the well H is equal HW and R is equal to RW. And at the edge of the aquifer H is equal to H naught and R is equal to R0 is with the negative sign neglected. H naught minus HW is equal Q by 2 pi KB ln R by R naught by RW. Here, study radial flow to a well in confined aquifer. Q is equal to 2 pi KB H naught by minus HW by ln R naught by RW. Q is equal 2 pi KB H minus HW by ln R by RW. Or in a general form, HR is equal to HW plus Q by 2 pi KB ln R by RW. Now, guys, and the Thais equation, time equation also important here. T is equal, KB is equal to Q by 2 pi into H2 minus H1, 1n R2 by R1, where R1 and R2 are the distances and H1 and H2 are the heads of the respective observation wells. Here, Kf is equal 528 Q log R2 by R1 by M into H2 minus H1, where Q is an gallons per minute, Kf is the permeability in gallons per day per square foot, and R and H are measured in feet. M is the thickness of aquifer, same as B in previous case. From a practical standpoint, the drawdown yes rather than the head H is measured, so T is equal to Q by 2 pi into S1 minus S2 1n R2 by R1. Here guys, example steady state confined aquifer. A well in a confined aquifer is pumped. A well in a confined aquifer is pumped at a rate of 220 gallons per minute. Measurement of drawdown in two observation wells shows that after 1270 minutes of pumping, no further drawdown is occurring. Well 1 is 26 feet from the pumping well and has a head of 29.34 feet above the top of the aquifer. Well 2 is 73 feet from the pumping well and has a head of 32.56 feet above the top of the aquifer. So use the time equation to find the aquifer transmissivity. We must first convert the pumping rate of 220 gallons to minutes to an equivalent rate in cubic feet per day. That is equal to 220 gallon by minutes into 1 feet cube by 7.48 gallons into 1440 minutes by day. That is equal to 42,400 feet cube per a day. Now we substitute the given values into times equation. T is equal to Q by 2 pi H2 H2 2 pi into H2 minus H1 1 and R2 by R1 is equal. T is equal to if here Q means 42,400 by 2 pi into H2 32.56 and H1 29.34 1n into here R2 73 by R1 R1 26, that is equal to 2.170 feet square for each day. Example, textbook example guys here. Find the hydraulic conductivity of an artesian aquifer. Artesian aquifer means nothing but a confined aquifer. Being pumped by a fully penetrating well, the aquifer is 100 feet thick and composed of medium sand. The steady state pumping rate is 1000 gallon per minute meter. The drawdown at an observation well 50 feet away is 10 feet. In a second observation well 500 feet away, it is 1 feet. Using equation. So Kf is equal 528 Q log by R2 by R1 by M into H2 minus H1. Here guys, 528 into Q 1000 into log R2 by R1 10 by M into 100 into H2 10 minus H1 1. So that is equal 586.7 gallon per a day feet square. So study radial flow to a well in a unconfined aquifer. Actually, guys, before going to start, just I want to tell you something. Guys, here study radial flow to wells. The analysis of groundwater movement will be greatly simplified if the vertical flow components are neglected and the groundwater is assumed to move primarily in the lateral direction. Accordingly, the following assumptions are made in the theory of groundwater movement. The flow is horizontal and uniformly distributed in vertical section. The velocity of flow is proportional to the tan of the hydraulic gradient instead of sine of the hydraulic gradient. The above two assumptions are called Dupuit-Forchimier assumptions. In addition, the derivation of the steady flow discharge equation generally assume the following. The well is pumped at a constant rate. The well fully penetrates the aquifer. Equations can be derived for partially penetrating wells also. They are not discussed here. But the aquifer is homogeneous, isotropic, horizontal, and of infinite horizontal extent. Water is released from storage in the aquifer in immediate response to a drop in water table or piezometric surface. So through the above assumptions are not strictly valid in all cases. They are required for making the analysis simpler and easier. So guys, study radial flow to a well in a unconfined aquifer. Here guys, confined versus unconfined. Guys, here the flow system around a pumped well in an unconfined aquifer with an initially horizontal water table is depicted. The thickness of aquifer is a H. The thickness of aquifer is H and the well fully penetrates the aquifer. If water is pumped at a constant rate from the well, a gradient in the water table towards the well is created, which results in a depressing from of the water table. This is called the cone of depression. After a sufficiently long time, when the contribution from the aquifer to the well is equal to the rate of pumping, the shape of the cone of depression remains fixed in space and will not change any further. When this condition is attained, the flow is said to be steady. In practice, this condition is rarely fulfilled, and for the case of analysis, a steady state flow is assumed if the changes in water table elevation have become negligible with time. The decrease in the water level at the well is called the drawdown. If the drawdown is small compared to the thickness of the aquifer, the streamlines of the flow to the well may be assumed to be horizontal. In a steady state radial flow, here the depth of flow at any radial distance r from the well is h and the area of flow at this section is 2 pi rh. According to Darcy's law, the velocity of flow v is given by v is equal to k. I, where I is the hydraulic gradient, since the tangent of the water table is taken as a hydraulic gradient. The velocity at this section becomes k is equal dh by dr. Q is equal to area into velocity 2 pi rh into k is equal to dh by dr. H into dh is equal to q by 2 pi k into dr by r. So the integration of the above equation with the known boundary conditions at the two observation bores yields the flow equation is similar for that of confined aquifers, except we use here guys the H is instead of B. Q is equal 2 pi K 2 pi K B 2 pi K 2 pi R K H by DH by DR. Rearranging and integrating for the boundary conditions at the well, H is equal to HW and R is equal to RW, and at the edge of the aquifer H is equal to H naught and R is equal to R naught yields. Q is equal to pi k H naught square 2 by H square W by 1 and R naught by RW. Converting to heads H1 and H2 and radii at two observation wells at locations R1 and R2, Q is equal to pi k H22 minus H12 by 1 and R2 by R1. Rearranging to solve for the hydraulic conductivity, K is equal to Q by pi into H22 minus H12 in R2 by R1. Text form of unconfined aquifer, where Q is in gallons per minute, Kf is in gallons per day per square foot, and R and H are measured in feet. Kf is equal 1055 Q log R2 by R1 by H2 square minus H1 square. So example guys, a 20 in well fully penetrates an unconfined aquifer of 100 feet depth. Two observation wells located 90 and 240 feet from the pumped well are known to have drawdowns of 23 and 21.5 feet respectively. If the flow is steady and Kf is equal to 1400 GPD by feet square, find the discharge from the well. Here guys, from the equation, A20 in well fully guys, here equation 3.20 is applicable, and for the given units this is Q is equal to K into H22 minus H12 by 1055 log R2 by R1. Log R2 by R1 is equal log 240 by 90 is equal 0.42651. Here H2 is equal 100 minus 21.5, that is equal 78.5 feet. H1 is equal 100 minus 23, that is equal 77 feet. So Q is equal here 1400 into 78.5 square minus 77 square by 1055 into 0.42651. That is equal 725 by 7 GPM. So guys, this is the this is the this is the Deputy's equation. Study radial flow to wells in confined and unconfined aquifers. Thank you guys, all of you, for your patience. Thank you very much.